Coach Camilus Alexander, congratulations on launching the Atlanta Rising Stars Cricket Academy in 2024. First of all, what inspired you to start this initiative?
Yes, first of all, Michael, thank you so much. What really inspired me is, a large participation here in North America with youth cricket. So, I really thought it was, necessary and all about giving back to, to the future generation, to, pass on back that, legacy, back onto the kids of tomorrow.
What you would say is the mission and vision of the Academy, and how does it serve the youth in the Atlanta area?
Well, it's to provide a perfect platform for, kids at that tender age, from the grassroots level, 5.5, 6, 7 years old, so you're trying to empower them with the basic knowledge of the game as early as possible so they grow with it and have that, great passion for the game, so it's all about giving back, basically.
Can you walk us through the structure of the Academy, like the age groups, the coaching sessions, and the kind of skills you focus on?
Well, our academy consists of 3 different age groups, right? So we have a beginners group. So that age consists of 5.5 to like 7, 8 years old. And we focus primarily on like enjoying the game, and at the same time, we have, little skills that we work on, basic skills like in the 3 dimension of the game, batting, bowling, fielding, so, from that age, we focus primarily on just like, basic skills. And we have, after the kids graduate from beginners, we have emerging stars group. So, we focus on, like a lot of game scenarios, running between the wickets, chasing a target down, all those basic little skills we work on in the academy, in the emerging stars group. Then third, we have the advanced and pro stars, which is our U13 group. So this is the most advanced group we have in the academy. We got 2 age groups at the moment, U11 and U13. So U13 is basically a more, advanced group. So we do a lot of fitness and conditioning also, together with a lot of skill base.
How do you sort of incorporate both technical and personal development into the training of these young cricketers?
Well, it's a pretty tricky question there, but it's important from a young age that you have your fundamentals right. Kids need the basics, is like, for instance, I just drawing an example there. It's like you're building a building, you must put the foundation down before, you actually start the building. So, working on the fundamentals of the game is very important, to, help the kids propel, going forward.
What challenges have you faced in establishing the academy, especially in a country where cricket is still emerging?
It wasn't that challenging, to be honest. The little challenges we face is, the infrastructure that, the grounds, and so it's not much grounds for, say, in Atlanta, but the little what we have, I was still able to get some booking for our academy. So, we all happy about it, and the indoor facility in the winter, there is couple, common board right now, so we're pretty much safer in the winter, to conduct our program. So we pretty much, on par right now.
Are there plans to partner with local schools or organizations to expand their academy's reach?
Yes, absolutely. We're looking to grow, so we strongly targeting the schools, to, have the cricket, play more into the schools and try to, have the interest, among the schools. So then you will have more participation.
How do you measure the success of the academy Are you aiming for professional development or life skills or a combination of both?
Well, yes, basically a combination of both, because it's not, everyone will go on to play international cricket. It's just, that's just the reality of it. But at the same time, we want to make sure that kids, learn as much as possible in the academy, life skills, how to be, a team player, how to, focus on, cheering for each other, So it's all about, building together.
Let's talk a little about your career and experience. You have had a diverse cricketing journey from representing Grenada, the Windward Islands, West Indies, youth cricket, playing for the U.S. national team as well. How has that experience shaped your approach to coaching?
Yes, it wasn't too much of a massive, transition. Based on my experience playing, cricket from a young and tender age, I learned a lot, as I grow. So, playing cricket basically all over the world, you learn from different conditions, and, you play the game, all over the world. So you have that experience in terms of like the coaching and also, the playing experience. So the coaching part of it, I learn a lot from a lot of international coaches. One of the coaches, Ray Duncan from Grenada, from whom, we always, communicate. Those guys, set the foundation. Guys like Ashley Cummins and those guys, is guys that really help and paved the way. Gus Logie from Trinidad, when I made the West Indies under 15 in 1997, when I made the West Indies under 19 in 2000, so I learned a lot from those coaches, a little bit from Phil Simmons also. So, got the experience by playing and traveling around the world.
And you have been able to use them in some virtual sessions as well through your academy?
Yes, absolutely. Sometimes that sessions rain out. So when we do have a rain out session, we, move the session, virtual. So we have the kids logging in, and the laptop or, maybe a desktop, and then, we probably will show like, couple game scenarios, some high performance batting, bowling skills, fielding, athletic fielding, so we watch the videos, break it down, and explain it to the kids thoroughly, and we go out on a Fridays, 5:45 in the evening to 7:45. That's when we have our fielding and fitness session. We only focus on fielding and fitness. Mm-hmm. So that's where we go and, practice what we learn in the online classes and try to implement it in the field.
And you have been able to use some of your former West Indies players, your teammates as well?
Yes, absolutely. I have, close relation with Corey Collimo from Barbados, former West Indies fast bowler, test bowler. So, I brought him here last December for a 3 weeks bowling camp, which was very successful. All the parents were very happy. And, the kids learn a lot. We saw massive improvement with the kids. Fast bowling skills, had developed a long way. So, Omari Banks also from Anguilla, former West Indies off spinner. We played for West Indies under 19 together. So we always have that great friendship. Wavell Hines from Jamaica also. We had brought him on Zoom to talk about team building, with the kids, So a lot of international experience, I brought into our academy. And also Sir Joel Garner. We had brought Sir Joel Garner, on Zoom, to talk to our kids, to motivate them and, show them the right way.
Mm-hmm. As a former leg spinning all-rounder, how do you mentor young bowlers and all-rounders in particular?
Well, that's my hobby, like playing and, bowling leg spin, all my life, I learn a lot from like, a lot of great leg spinners, Ra Lewis, who played a lot with me for the national team. When I played for West Indies President 11, against Pakistan test team in Guyana in 2000. You know, Mushtaq Ahmed, the leg spinner. You know, so a lot of international leg spinners. You know, Mahindra Nagamutu, Ramnori Sawan. All those guys helped me a lot in terms of explaining the skill for me thoroughly, and going and implement it in my practice sessions, and work on my craft. So I conduct a lot of private sessions, teaching kids leg spin, young leg spinners throughout here in Atlanta.
You represented the West Indies at youth level. What lessons from that experience do you try to pass on to the young cricketers you now coach?
Yes, it was a great experience. Under 19 World Cup in Sri Lanka, and one of a test, under 19 test too in England, against England. So those experience was very good. It was a lot of lesson learned. Never take anything for granted. Play it as how you see it. It's all about playing with the true spirit of the game, and just playing the cricket hard and enjoying it and doing your best at all times. It's only your best is good enough.
Having played for the US in 2017, how have you seen the cricket landscape evolve in America since then?
Yes, the cricket here, it's on a rise, because a lot of not Americans, Asians, start getting more involved in the cricket. We have like Major League playing here, so a lot of international stars like Rashid Khan, Steve Smith, but last year in the Major League in North Carolina, I took my academy kids to watch the top international players, and we met a lot of them. They even walk out with them, and they sang the national anthem with them. So that was a great joy for all the kids. Up to this day, they still talk about that moment, what they will always cherish, for the rest of their life, So that was very good, Kids really enjoy that moment.
You mentioned Major League Cricket. Do you see the MLC, as we call it, an initiative like yours with the Academy, helping to build a pipeline for future U.S. national players?
Oh, yes, absolutely. We have, the Major League, what going to be playing, I think, next month, sometime in June, middle of June, somewhere around there. There's the youth program also, what we just, came from St. Louis and played, U11 played in St. Louis, and U13 play here in Atlanta. So, Major League have, a youth program also, for young aspiring cricketers in the US. So, I think cricket in the US will certainly, kick off and, be a force to reckon with in international cricket sooner or later.
All right, looking ahead, Camilus, where do you see the Atlanta Rising Stars Cricket Academy probably in the next 5 years?
Yes, the sky's the limit. So we're looking to collab with a lot of different academies throughout the US, and also at an international, scale also. So I have a lot of connection with few, clubs in England, minor county teams and all that. So we're looking probably to travel, throughout the globe. We're also looking to probably go to India very soon also. So those are a lot of plans in the making, and we just, looking to execute those plans and, give those kids, a great platform to build on. We're pretty excited and, ready to take any opportunity we get.
Are there any standout players already showing potential at the academy that we probably should keep an eye on?
Yes, we have a lot of young aspiring players. We have, Aditya Govindra. We have.
These are names that we should probably keep in mind, right?
He's one of the most consistent, batter in the academy. Last year he scored like 13 50s and 1 century last year.
In the age group, right?
In U11. He just moved to U13. He already scored a couple 50s, so he's very consistent. He plays very hard. He got a great passion for the game. You know, you remind me of when I was his age, you know, how passionate I was, you know, playing from a young and tender age up to this day. You know, I still play little masters here and there, but I'm mainly into the coaching, just giving back and spending more time with the kids and, you know, sharing my experience over, you know, the 20 plus years I've been playing and coaching.
Mhm. Now,
Yeah, and
notice.
we have a couple other young players. We have the young RFK,
All
you know,
right.
we have Roitas, you know, we have, you know, young Hugh Mutotin, we have, you know, AJ, we have Akil, you know, those are the players that, you know, will, you know, gonna be, you know, moving forward basically in terms of, you know, scoring and scoring, you know, consistently because they really work hard on the game.
Mhm. And how can, the Grenadian and Caribbean diaspora support your efforts here in Atlanta, the only of its kind, I should say, in terms of a Grenadian, in terms of, probably one of two Caribbean former players with such an initiative. But how can Grenadian and Caribbean diaspora support your initiative?
Yeah, basically in the US here, North America, you know, we kindly asking, you know, to support us in the way that, you know, watching the cricket, we are on different platform. That's one way you could support us, follow us, and the social media. That's one way, but you know, we're trying to reach out to, you know, a more, you know, wider audience in terms of like, you know, sending um sending like flyers and all those stuff. We could also make like, you know, business cards and, you know, give out to like restaurants and public places that where we think a lot of cricket supporters, you know, will be passing, visiting, maybe, you know, restaurants, you know, different cuisine and all
So
those.
you believe there is room to accommodate Caribbean born players or even those of second and third generation who are willing to be part of the academy?
Yes, absolutely. It's all about trying to, you know, reach out to them, you know, any way possible. You know, social media is very powerful. That's one, you know, way that you could get out there. You know, the academy as in terms of like, you know, advertising it, and then we also want to, you know, make some flyers. That's very important, and some business card, and you know, like they had Atla- they had Grenada Day here in Atlanta. So what we could have done, I was out of town, you know, what we could have done is probably try to get to the organizers and try to, you know, spread the word that we have, you know, academy, you know, Atlanta Rising Star here. You know, if kids are interested and, you know, want to come and learn, you know, the fundamentals to start and, you know, grow as they learn.
Mhm. Because cricket is becoming a very popular game in the US, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
Sure.
All right. What advice would you give to young American cricketers considering cricket as a serious sport? Well, youngsters in particular considering cricket as a serious sport.
Yes, let's take the game serious. You know, there's a bright future ahead. You know, cricket, you know, could change, you know, a lot of things for you and, you know, your family. But not only, you know, what cricket could, you know, give to you, but, you know, once you love something that regardless of what it does give, you know, is playing the game with the passion and, you know, it's a likable sport. So, you know, you'll have a lot of fun playing and then you will meet a lot of people along the way, you know, so it helps builds, you know, a lot of, you know, friendship also. So, you know, there's a lot to play for in the game of cricket, you know, enjoy it and just play, you know, to the best of your ability.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for speaking to me, Camilus Alexander,
Thank you so
coach
much.
of the Atlanta Rising Stars Cricket Academy.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.